Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Sampson, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Why did you decide to speak with us today?
I just wanted to tell my story that people assuming I tried to hurt or shoot at an officer. I did not try to hurt or shoot at no officer. I apologize to him, his family, if he, but my intention was never to shoot at him.
Why did you fire your gun, right?
It was my gun. I was being tased, and I was, not understanding why he was trying to apprehend me, why he was arresting me. Because he just told me he wanted to talk. And when it went from he wanted to talk to him telling me, grabbing me, not telling me, but grabbing me, telling me to put my hands over my head, that's when I got confused and got combative. If he would have told me I was under arrest and that, for whatever reason why he was arresting me, I would have cooperated. But for him just to approach me and not give me a reason for why he was trying to grab me, that kind of set things off.
And when you pointed the gun, where was the gun pointed when those shots went off?
For what I recall, because a lot of things it was going on so fast, and I was on the ground, being tased, and I do remember the gun going off at during that time. I don't think that I know that I didn't aim the gun at him because I was behind the car and he was in another direction, and it was impossible for me to see him to actually try to shoot at him. I didn't see him because I was on the ground being tased at the time he was tasing me, or at the time that the gun was discharged.
Can you walk us through what exactly unfolded? Because police seem to be a little bit confused too as far as the timeline. They were first called to 2200 block of Farmer Lane in that apartment complex. Do you live in that apartment complex?
I'll be over there. I was dating someone that lived in that area. And me and her had a verbal dispute. And most of the time when we argue, I just try to leave. I just leave.
Did you make verbal threats toward her?
I told her that, that I was tired of going through what we was going through, and that it's best for her to leave me alone.
So at no point you threatened her life?
I just told her to leave me be. And I mean, it might have came out or sounded like a threat to her, but she should know we say a lot of things in the heat of the moment, but she know I'm not gonna hurt her. I never physically cause any harm to her. I'm not gonna say verbatim, all the things that, she said to me, I said to her. But I was basically making my point clear that I didn't want to be bothered no more, and that for her to leave me alone.
So let me just make sure I understand. This is your girlfriend, current girlfriend, right?
I picked her up from work. We on the way back from, me picking her up from work, and we stopped to get something to eat. And, it led to an argument. We started she started arguing and yelling at me, and I'm telling her to stop yelling at me, and I just wanted, at that point, I took her back to her house. I attempted to get my stuff. I had, some of my property in her house.
So she lives at this residence, 2200,
right.
That apartment complex.
So her,
But the argument started in the car?
Yeah, we started arguing on her way back from work.
Okay. You dropped her off.
I dropped her off, I'm just, at this point, I'm just telling her, through phone conversation that I'm done. I just want to be left alone. That, there's no need for us to continue to go through what we've been going through.
Sure. At that point, did you leave and then that's when you went to that shopping plaza at that Compostela?
I left and went to the shopping
You
plaza.
drove there.
Right.
Okay. And you parked your car where?
In front of the shopping plaza. In front of Smoke One and 757 Tates.
Okay. The smoke shop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then, so you're outside of the car, right? And you're
outside the store, standing outside the store.
With some friends?
With her cousin, yeah.
With her cousin. Okay. That's when you say a police officer approached you.
He started asking questions about who was who. And was I, he asked me for my identity. I didn't know what was going on as far as for him to be approaching me like that. So, I told him my name was Ike, which people called me, and he like, who is you, this person? I say my name is Ike. And then he said that, he just wanted to talk, that want nobody in trouble. So when he said that he just wanted to talk, want nobody in trouble, I assumed that they give me the right to leave if I wanted to, because he never said I was under arrest. So I attempted to walk off, and that's when he said, "Put your hands over your head," and started grabbing me. He just gave me a verbal demand. He went to reach and grab for me, and that's when we started tussling. And that's when I backed off, and he pulled out his taser. And I backed off and went around the car, and that's when he started tasing me. And that's when I pulled out my handgun, and that's when shots was fired while I was on the ground being tased.
Shots fired from your gun. You're admitting that you fired your gun.
I did. I admitted to firing the gun.
Okay.
In the process of being tased.
And what was going through your mind when you decided to take the cop car?
I wanted to get away. I tried to, in my mind, I thought I could, even though in reality I know probably no way it was impossible for me to get away. But I thought I was getting away from the scene, getting away from, what was going on.
You didn't get fired though, so what led to the crash?
A lot of things, it's fuzzy. I kind of went blank. I have, moments in my life when I do blank out and barely remember or hardly remember what happened or why things happened the way it did. I'm not making no excuses for me having a gun and discharging my gun. I know that I'm wrong. I'm a convicted felon, and I admit to that. Yeah, that was, I take full responsibility for that. I never tried to harm no officer. I never shot in his direction.
So when you say you take full responsibility, tomorrow in court, are you planning on pleading guilty?
I mean, I plan on taking responsibility for the gun. Yeah, I'm a convicted felon. I know I'm not supposed to have a gun. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and dispute something that it's obvious that I made a conscious decision to have a gun, being a convicted felon.
So was it an illegal gun?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay. So, and what was your prior history being a convicted felon for what?
I got convicted of previous gun charges. Basically, that's what sent me to prison for the majority of my life, gun charges.
What jail were you? Where were you in prison?
What prison?
Yeah, like here in Hampton Roads?
I've been to, several different prisons.
Oh. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in that area that I was arrested in.
Okay, so you're from Chesapeake?
I grew up
and you were living like part-time with your girlfriend or just staying?
We on and off, but for the most part, yeah, I live with her.
Your injuries, is that from yesterday?
That's from me being tased, yes.
Your finger? You were tased there?
Yeah. When I grabbed the taser, the thing from it broke my finger and burned it real bad.
It broke your finger?
Huh?
It broke your finger. Your finger's broken.
It's broken from the taser, yeah.
Wow, okay. All right. And you're facing some serious charges here. So what?
What is the charges? Because I never get a copy of my warrants. I don't know what charges I get.
There are some felonies. There's auto theft, firing at a police officer, And then a firearm charge. I don't have it in front of me.
How many charges are
I don't remember. There were several, at least 7.
there? Okay.
So, do you have a lawyer and everything? So you're planning on? You said you're going to take responsibility for the gun, but not these other charges like firing at a police officer.
I never set out to fire. I didn't fire my gun at the officer. Like, I don't want that to be. I want that to be clear that I did not fire my firearm at him, because if you shoot at somebody, you got to physically point the gun at them, right? Well, I'm laying on the ground, so how is it possible I'm pointing the gun at him? I'm laying on the ground behind a car.
Okay. So the gun was pointed elsewhere. The shots went.
I don't know where. I know it was not towards him. Where he was standing there, and when I fell from being tased. No, I didn't shoot in his direction.
Anything else you wanted to add, sir?
I just want to apologize and to the officer and everybody that's involved. I even apologize to Tierra and let her know that I didn't mean for none of this to happen. And I'm just just got to deal with this situation the best way I can. But I never really set out to hurt nobody, and anybody feel like I did, I apologize, and I'm truly remorseful for what happened.
Thank you. Tiara is your girlfriend.
Right.
Has she come to visit you yet?
I mean, well, I just got here last night. Not sure how that's gonna work, but I just, I don't have no ill feelings towards her. It's just that, everything happened, and I apologize for it getting to this extent, and there's no hard feelings.
And just to be clear, she's the one who called police.
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I'm just gonna get a couple shots of his
You
hand.
got like a 2 shot of this already?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just gonna get your injuries. That's 2. Okay. Wow. That's from the taser.
Yeah.
It took off a good chunk of your skin.
Huh?
It took off a good chunk of your skin there.
Yeah. It's still bleeding, and I was thinking they'll patch me up by now, but ain't nobody really did nothing. And I want my pain medicine, and ain't nobody brought me none of my medication yet. So I'm in a lot of pain.
She's just getting some close-ups.
Huh?
She's just getting some close-ups of that. Thank you so much. Can you do it again?
Yeah.
Can you hold that open?